I couldn't do better right now, so here we are. She said about me to her mother on the phone. I was listening from the hallway but pretended I didn't hear her. Moved out while she was at work the next day. Left a single note giving you a chance to do better. Hey everyone, before we jump into the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you want more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, I'm posting from a throwaway, because honestly, you'll understand why soon enough. I'm a 28-year-old. And up until about 6 months ago, I believed I was in a strong, committed 3-year relationship with my girlfriend, Emily. She's 26, a graphic designer, and for the last 2 years we lived together in a mid-sized city in a small but comfortable apartment. I covered most of the expenses while she worked on building her freelance career. I didn't resent it. I thought that's what being a partner meant. You support each other when things get uneven. I work in accounting. It's stable, decent pay, good benefits. Not exactly exciting, but it kept us afloat when her work slowed down. At the time, I was proud of that. Looking back now, I can see the warning signs clearly, but back then I was completely invested. We met through mutual friends right after college. Emily was energetic and creative, the kind of person who could captivate a room just by talking about her ideas. I fell for her fast. For the first couple of years, things genuinely felt good. Weekend hikes, late-night binge sessions, planning trips we didn't always have the money for. I was the organizer, the one making sure rent was paid and the fridge wasn't empty. She used to call me her rock, and I took that as a compliment. But during the last year, something started to change. Quietly at first, Emily spent more and more time glued to her phone, endlessly scrolling social media. She followed these influencer types, guys with expensive cars, constant travel photos, flashy lifestyles. During dinner, she'd casually say things like, "Look at Jake from work. He's always flying out for projects. Must be nice to have a job like that." Jake was a coworker of hers, someone in marketing she brought up far more than felt normal. I told myself it was harmless, just admiration. Then the comparisons became harder to ignore. One night, after I surprised her with a homemade dinner, nothing extravagant, just her favorite pasta, she sighed and said, "You're really sweet, but sometimes I wish we did more spontaneous things." Like that story Jake told about his last-minute road trip. It hurt, but I swallowed it. I nodded, changed the subject, and told myself I was being sensitive. Around the same time, she started pulling away emotionally. Our date nights turned into her checking her phone every few minutes. Intimacy became mechanical, like something on a checklist. The respect faded slowly, posting memes about settling for average, laughing with her friends about how safe and predictable our life was. I gave a lot to that relationship. Last winter, Emily lost a major client and completely spiraled. I picked up extra shifts, cut back on my own hobbies like gaming with friends, and even dipped into my savings to cover her portion of the rent. I listened, reassured her, held her when she cried, and kept telling her she'd recover. She eventually did, but the gratitude didn't last. Instead, she started talking about how trapped she felt, how stuck she was, subtly implying that our life, my life, was the reason. Then came the moment that destroyed everything. It was a Thursday evening, about 7 months ago. I'd just gotten home from work, exhausted but looking forward to our usual takeout routine. Emily was in the living room on the phone with her mom. I stopped in the hallway to hang up my coat, not trying to listen, but her voice carried, "Yeah, Mom, things are fine. He's nice, reliable, you know. But honestly, I couldn't do better right now." She laughed. That same light, dismissive laugh I used to find charming. I mean, Jake at work is more my type. Ambitious, exciting, always doing something new. But with the economy being what it is, it's not like I can just leave. Stability matters, right? My stomach dropped. Nice, reliable, couldn't do better right now. In that moment, I realized she didn't see me as a partner, just a placeholder, a safety net until something better came along. I stood there frozen, clutching my coat, replaying her words over and over, casual, comfortable, as if I were nothing more than a temporary solution. She ended the call with, "Anyway, I've got to go. He'll be home soon. Love you." I acted like I hadn't heard a thing. Walked in, put on a fake smile, asked about her day. We ate pizza, watched TV, went to bed like nothing was wrong. From the outside, everything looked normal. Inside, my mind was spiraling. Confusion hit first. Had I really meant that little to her? Had I imagined the relationship we'd built? Then the hurt followed, deep and sharp. I'd given her everything I had, and in her eyes, it was just enough for now. That night, sleep never came. I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying every compromise, every time I'd chosen her over myself. By morning, something shifted. The fog cleared. I realized I deserved more than being someone's backup plan. There was no yelling, no dramatic confrontation. I wasn't going to argue my worth or beg for basic respect. While she was at work the next day, I packed my clothes, the essentials, and a few personal items. I left everything else behind. On the kitchen counter, I placed a single note giving you a chance to do better. That afternoon, I drove to my friend Mark's place, my bags rattling in the trunk, adrenaline still pounding in my chest. Mark didn't ask many questions when I showed up unannounced. He just handed me a beer and offered his couch. I turned my phone off for the first few hours, needing the quiet to think. When I finally switched back on, my screen exploded with notifications. Texts from Emily, starting, confused, then escalating. Where are you? Did something happen at work? Then, okay, this isn't funny, call me. By evening, the voicemails piled up. I listened to the first one. Hey babe, I got home and your stuff is gone. What's going on? Did I do something? Call me back. I'm worried. Worried. That almost made me laugh, bitter and hollow. Worried about losing your safety net, maybe. I didn't reply. Not yet. An hour later, another voicemail came in. Her tone had changed. Less concern, more irritation. All right, I saw the note. Giving you a chance to do better? What does that even mean? Are you seriously breaking up with me over nothing? We need to talk about this like adults. Like adults. As if treating me like a placeholder was somehow mature. I sat there on Mark's couch, staring at the ceiling again. The confusion from the night before settled into a dull, aching weight. How long had she felt this way? How many I love yous had just been convenient words? My mind flashed back to our anniversary 2 months earlier. I'd saved for weeks to surprise her with a cabin getaway in the hills. She'd smiled, said she loved it, but now I saw how forced that excitement had been. This is nice, she'd said, but imagine if we could afford something exotic, like Jake's trips to Europe. Even then, the comparison had slipped through. The calls didn't stop. By nightfall, she sounded frantic. Another voicemail. Please pick up. I don't understand. Things were fine, weren't they? I mean, yeah, we've had rough patches, but everyone does. You're overreacting. Just come home and we can fix this. Fix this. Her next message spilled into excuses, her voice cracking slightly. Okay, fine. If this is about that call with my mom. Wait, did you hear that? God, I was just venting. She's always on me about settling down. You're not a placeholder. You're my partner. But come on, admit it. Our life gets routine. I need excitement sometimes. That's not a crime. Jake's just a friend who understands. He listens without judging. There it was. Her warped logic laid bare, excusing disrespect as venting, brushing off emotional wandering as harmless, blaming me for the routine she'd helped create, and dropping Jake's name like it was nothing. I finally replied, keeping it brief. It's over. I'll arrange to get the rest of my things later. Take care. Her response came instantly. What? No, you can't just end it like this. We've built a life together. I love you. Doesn't that count? You're being so cold. At least talk to me face to face. Cold. After everything I'd given. I blocked her number for the time being. I needed space. The unfairness haunted me in those first few days. I paced Mark's apartment, replaying every sacrifice, like turning down a promotion last year because it required relocating, and Emily didn't want to leave her job, helping her network, connecting her with clients, introducing her to people from my own circle. All of it. For me to be good enough for now. A week later, she showed up at Mark's door. I'd stupidly mentioned staying there once. Mark hesitated, but eventually let her inside. She looked rough, hair unkempt, eyes swollen and red, but what came out of her mouth was a blend of pleading and deflection. Please, can we talk? She said as she stepped in. This is insane. You're throwing away 3 years over a misunderstanding. I stayed seated on the couch, arms folded. It's not a misunderstanding, Emily. I heard what you said. She started pacing, wringing her hands. Okay, fine, I said some stupid things, but it wasn't about you. It was about me feeling stuck. Work's been stressful, and Jake's he's dealing with similar stuff. We talked, that's it. You're blowing this out of proportion. Talking, I repeated evenly, and comparing me to him, saying you couldn't do better right now. Her face flushed. God, you're twisting it. I meant with the economy and my career being unstable, security matters. You give me that. But I need passion too. Can't we work on it? I'll cut back on social media. We'll plan trips, do more things. Just don't leave like this. More excuses followed, blaming the economy, her job, stress, everything except her choices. She finally sat down, tears welling up. I ever meant to hurt you. You're the best guy I know, but honestly, sometimes I wonder if we're just too comfortable. Jake pushes me, makes me think bigger. There it was, the contradiction. Praising me while admitting he was the one who excited her. I stood up. You want something better? Go chase it. I'm done. She grabbed my arm. Wait, no, I choose you. Let's fix this. But her eyes betrayed her words. I gently pulled free. "Goodbye, Emily." She stormed out, muttering, "You'll regret this." That night, the silence hit hard. The betrayal weighed on me, confusion lingering like a low fog. But beneath it all, something steadier took hold. I wasn't going back. The weeks after blurred into survival mode. I found a small studio in a quieter part of the city. Nothing special, but it was mine. No shared spaces soaked in half-hearted affection. I buried myself in work. All the extra hours I'd avoided before, I embraced. My boss noticed. Within a month, I was promoted to senior accountant, complete with a raise and flexible hours. I reclaimed the hobbies I'd neglected. Weekend solo hikes, the kind Emily always dismissed as boring and predictable. Out on the trails, breathing clean air, my head began to clear. Why had I ever accepted being someone's second choice? The pain faded slowly. At first, every quiet moment triggered memories. Her laugh on that phone call, the casual way she'd reduced me to convenience. I questioned myself. Was I too dull? Not driven enough? But over time, the self-doubt shifted. I started jotting notes on my phone. Nothing fancy. Just reminders she didn't value me. That's not my failure. It helped. I reconnected with old friends I'd sidelined while playing the role of devoted partner. Game nights, beers after work. They reminded me that life existed outside of her orbit. I blocked her everywhere and avoided her social media completely. Still, nay. WS found its way to me through mutual friends. At first, it was vague. Emily's doing okay. She moved on fast. Then, about 2 months after the breakup, the truth surfaced. Lisa, a friend we both knew from college, texted me. "Hey, just checking in. Heard Emily's seeing that Jake guy now. Thought you should know." I replied, "Thanks. I'm good." Inside, it confirmed what I already suspected. Later, Lisa added, "It's all over her feed. Trips, fancy dinners, looks intense." Intense turned out to be accurate, as karma began its slow work. About 3 months in, cracks appeared. At a casual meetup, another mutual, Tom, mentioned, "Man, Emily's been complaining. Jake's not what she thought. Super jealous. Always starting fights." I just nodded. No satisfaction, no gloating. I let it be. But the stories kept coming. Jake, it turned out, was chaos beneath the polish. His marketing gigs were unstable, flashy on the surface but unreliable. The charm wore off quickly. Emily started losing friends, defending him relentlessly and pushing people away. One night, Lisa called. "She's in deep. She moved in with him after you left, but he's controlling." Goes through her phone, criticizes her work, and get this, they were caught flirting at the office. Her boss reprimanded them. She's on thin ice eventually, cracked. Months later, the final blow landed. Jake cheated, openly, with a coworker. Emily found out through texts. The irony wasn't lost on me. When she confronted him, it exploded. He became verbally abusive, blaming her, accusing her of being needy. She left, but the damage was done. At work, the affair became public. Company policy didn't tolerate office romances, especially messy ones. She was fired. Freelance work dried up soon after. In a small creative community, reputation mattered, and hers took a hit. Isolation followed. Friends stopped inviting her out. Exhausted by the chaos. "She's spiraling," Tom said once. "Posting vague stuff online about learning lessons. No one's buying it. She's broke too." Jake burned through her savings with those adventures. I sat with that knowledge quietly. No joy, just a sense of balance restored. Her dismissiveness, her justifications, they came back around. Meanwhile, my life kept moving forward. The promotion opened doors, networking events, new circles. That's where I met Sarah, a 27-year-old project manager with a sharp sense of humor and genuine warmth. We took things slow, coffee first, then hikes. No comparisons. No being treated like a placeholder. She valued my stability without turning it into a joke. "You're thoughtful," she said on our third date. "That's rare." 5 months after I left, Emily hit her breaking point. Lisa filled me in. She was still in the old apartment, struggling to keep up with rent. Her family was pushing her to apologize to me. Apparently, she thought I was the solution. I wasn't fixing anything anymore. The silence between us stretched on, creating space for me to grow. My internal voice was steady now, clear, grounded. "You dodged a bullet. She's no longer relevant." The betrayal remained, but only as a lesson, not an open wound. I focused forward, upgrading my apartment, planning a solo trip. Life felt full and earned. As the 6th month approached, her desperation began to break through my boundaries. But that came later. It started quietly, around 5 months after I left. By then, I'd unblocked her for practical reasons, sorting out the lease on our old place. One evening while I was out hiking with Sarah, a text popped up. "Hey, can we talk?" Miss our chats, casual, like nothing had ever happened. I ignored it. The next day, another message, I know you're upset, but I've been thinking a lot. We had something good. Good. Her definition, good was me being a stepping stone. I didn't reply. That silence seemed to flip a switch. Calls started coming in. One a day, then several. I let them go to voicemail. The first one was soft, pleading, "Please pick up. I messed up, okay? Jake was a mistake. He wasn't who I thought he was. Can we meet for coffee? Just to clear the air?" Clear the air. Her way of rewriting the past. I deleted it. She didn't stop. A week later, she showed up outside my new office building after work. I was heading out when I spotted her standing near the entrance, nervous, wrapped in a coat that used to be mine. "There you are," she said, forcing a smile. "I figured you wouldn't answer my calls, so I came here." I stopped but kept my distance. "What do you want, Emily?" She stepped closer, eyes wide. "I want to apologize, really. That phone call, it was stupid. I was stressed, felt trapped. But you were never just good enough. You were everything. Jake, he turned out to be trash, cheated, yelled, left me with nothing. I finally see what I lost." Her voice cracked on lost. I felt nothing. No pity, no urge to comfort her. "Okay," I said flatly. She blinked. "Okay, that's it?" Her frustration surfaced. "Come on, we can fix this. I'll change. More date nights, less social media. Remember how we used to laugh? I miss that. I miss you." The same twisted logic, treating betrayal like a minor malfunction, ignoring the disrespect entirely. "No, Emily, we're done." She grabbed my sleeve. "Please. I'm alone now. I lost my job because of the mess with him. My friends won't talk to me. Just give us another chance." I pulled away. "Take care." And I walked to my car. That rejection escalated things. The messages turned frantic. "I can't sleep thinking about us. You're the only one who ever understood me." Then she started pulling others in. Her mom called first, just as toxic as I remember. Ed. I'd met her a handful of times, always judgmental, always meddling. The voicemail said, "This is Emily's mother. Young man, you need to grow up and speak to her. She's heartbroken because of your little tantrum. Families work through things. Don't be selfish." Selfish. After everything I'd done for Emily, I blocked the number. Next came her sister. "Dude, you're being a jerk. Emily cries every night. She made one mistake. Forgive her already. Or are you too proud? Unpleasant. Pushy." Revealing exactly where the entitlement came from. Then mutual friends who'd initially sided with her. Lisa messaged, "Hey, Emily asked me to reach out. She's really sorry. Maybe just hear her out?" I replied, "No thanks." But Emily used them anyway. Tom called. "Man, she's begging me to talk to you. Says she realizes now you were the real deal." Come on, for old time's sake. Old times. When I was convenient, I hung up. By the 6th month, her desperation hardened into anger. A late-night voicemail came through. "Fine, ignore me. But you're pathetic, you know that? Ghosting like a coward after 3 years. I deserved better anyway." "No, wait, that's not what I meant. Just call me back." The whiplash, from rage to pleading, laid her hypocrisy bare. Another message followed. "You abandoned me when I needed you most? Needed me for stability, not love." Then she showed up at my apartment one weekend, pounding on the door. Sarah was there. We were cooking dinner. I opened it just enough to speak. "Emily, go home." Her eyes were wild, mascara smeared. "No, let me in. We need to talk now. Your promotion, this new place, that's great. But you're empty without me. Jake used me. I got fired. Everything's falling apart." And for the first time, I knew with certainty. I was exactly where I needed to be. "Help me fix it." "Fix it yourself," I said calmly. She slammed her hand against the door. "Or, screw you. You're heartless. I thought you were better than this." Then she spotted Sarah inside. "Who's that? You already replaced me?" I closed the door and called security. That was it. Her real self laid bare, angry, entitled, lashing out when she didn't get what she wanted. The desperation had peaked, but I stayed detached. My life was thriving. Work, Sarah, long hikes, quiet mornings. She was just noise now. The final nail came at our mutual friend Lisa's wedding, exactly 6 months to the day after I left. I'd RSVP'd weeks earlier, before things escalated. Sarah came as my +1. We'd been official for a month, and it felt right. The venue was a beautiful garden in the suburbs, string lights overhead, laughter everywhere, champagne flowing. I stood there in a suit, feeling confident, catching up with old acquaintances, talking about my promotion. Hen, I saw her, Millie, uninvited as far as I knew, pushing through a side gate. She looked wrecked, dress wrinkled, hair messy, like she'd come straight from a bad night. The moment she spotted me across the lawn, she locked on and rushed over, ignoring everything around her. "We need to talk," she hissed, grabbing my arm. Yes, nearby went quiet. Lisa glanced over, clearly concerned. I stepped back gently. Not here, Emily. This isn't the place, Yes, here, she said, her voice rising. I've tried everything. Texts, calls, showing up. My family begged you, friends too. I know I messed up. Jake was abusive, he cheated, he left me broken alone. But you were my rock. I see it now. You're the best. Please, take me back. Tears streamed down her face, but the plea rang hollow. Hypocrisy wrapped in desperation. Admitting the affair had failed, yet expecting me to rescue her. Sarah stood beside me, calm and steady. I squeezed her hand. I looked back at Emily and repeated her own words, evenly. You said you couldn't do better at the time, so I gave you that chance. Looks like you tried, and it didn't work out. Her face collapsed. Don't throw that in my face. I was wrong. We can start over. I'll change. No comparisons, no Jake. Just us. Us. The word felt distant, unfamiliar. I glanced at Sarah, warm, grounded, no games. Then back at Emily. No, I've done better, I said. Emily, this is Sarah, my girlfriend. We're happy. My job's going great. My life is full. You're not part of it anymore. She stared, eyes flicking between Sarah and me. The power shift hit her all at once, me standing solid, her unraveling in the middle of a celebration of love. But I love you, she whispered. Doesn't that mean anything? It did, I said firmly. But you made me irrelevant. Now you're irrelevant to me. Go home, Emily. Save what dignity you have left. She froze, then turned away, shoulders trembling as she disappeared through the crowd. Whispers followed. What was that? Didn't she get fired? Wow. Later, Lisa pulled me aside. I'm sorry about that. She begged me to let her come. I said no. No worries, I said. It's done. I walked away with Sarah, hand in hand, feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time, complete closure. The sting of betrayal was gone. I'd grown, calm, free, upgraded. Emily was a closed chapter, a lesson learned. I'm living my best life now. Update, if you're reading this, thanks for the support, Reddit. Moral, don't settle for being someone's right now. You deserve better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Drop your thoughts in the comments.